Yo, what it is, YouTube is Playback coming back with another bullseye of a video here today on the channel. We wanted to talk about what are the best DAWs for people starting out in 2025. So what's your favorite DAW that y'all like to use? Let me know down below. What's the one that you started out with? What's the one that you ended up using now? What are some of the things, or why you picked the DAW that you got right now? Let me know down below. So let's get to this video, okay? So we're gonna have the tiers, and I know this video might be controversial, but fuck it, we're gonna do it anyways. All right. So the first DAW is gonna be FL Studio. Now we already know the tiers list. Mix and master being the best one, you can do everything in it. Rough mix being the stuff where, okay, I'm gonna probably be able to have all the tools that I need in this DAW to get a good rough mix, but maybe I might have to send it to another engineer. Vocal template is where you depend, you're gonna need a lot of third-party plugins to really make it sound good. Then we have debatable and delete. All right, so with FL Studio, I think FL Studio is probably like the best DAW for people starting out in 2025, and here's why. The cost is pretty affordable, bro, especially when you start now, you don't have a lot of money. Having a DAW that you could just buy it outright with FL Studio and get lifetime updates is clutch. You feel me? And most importantly too, you have a many high quality classic plugins like the FL Studio Clipper. Then you got the FL Studio EQ, the reverb. Like you don't really got to spend too much. Also, the dope thing about FL Studio 2 is the stem separator. I love the stem separator in FL Studio. Okay, so I know the engineers here like JT. He was using FL Studio way before everybody else, right? So now I noticed too that a lot of people have been recording in FL Studio. So that's why FL Studio got to go to the top, because you can mix and you can master. You can record and make a beat in FL Studio. When it comes to mixing and routing, I've never tried to do that, but I've made beats and I've recorded in FL Studio, and it's very easy. It's very easy and very user friendly to start out with. Some of the other great things I like about FL Studio that makes it better than every DAW is when you're like using the plugins, right? You can literally do parallel inserts on anything. And I remember like back in the days, I didn't know how crazy that was. I never realized that, but to have parallel everything, because nowadays plugins be having parallel knobs, but FL Studio way back, bro, you could parallel every single thing. So I think that's clutch too. Rather than having to make a parallel aux, you got it right there already built in. So that's why FL Studio going to the top is the GOAT, because of all of those reasons. And the stem separator is A1, bruh. Okay. So after that, we're gonna have to go with Reaper. Now Reaper is pretty dope. Reaper is pretty dope, but you know what I kind of don't like about Reaper? It's too tweaky. It gives you too many options in terms of coding, and maybe this is just subjective, but I feel like most people who are artists, they just need something direct, because most artists overthink the process. They overthink stuff. So like when you got something like Reaper, that like the Reaper, that you can customize literally everything. You could customize the theme, some of the plugins. Reaper got some pretty dope plugins. Like I know there's some plugins that you can send out audio with. You could create like custom layouts. You could make Reaper look like any other DAW. But that's the thing I kind of don't like. I don't like stuff that has like identity crisis. You feel me? Like go get your own swag. But Reaper is still pretty dope, and they have a community of people who are constantly coding and like adding more onto the DAW and stuff like that. So for that, we're probably gonna just let's just keep it right there, because I think that's a big gripe for many artists, having too many choices. It's like the Garden of Eden when Eve ate the apple. It gave her too much information, too much choices. So human beings, we're not used to having too much abundance. Okay. So that's one of the things. Sometimes you just need something direct that you can work in, and I feel like Reaper is just a little too tweaky, but after that it's pretty dope. Like if you're the type of person that likes to customize, that's for you. Okay, now Logic Pro has to go at the top. And Logic Pro has to go at the top because you can make beats in Logic Pro, you can record in Logic Pro, and you can mix in Logic Pro. So I'd actually put Logic Pro one step above FL Studio in terms of mixing department, because mixing in Logic Pro is very good, and especially vocal editing and stuff like that, and going in there and like getting it right. It's definitely possible in FL Studio too, but you got to do some workarounds. So in terms of like that balanced DAW that can do everything good equally, I'm gonna have to put Logic Pro. Like FL Studio is better at making beats, and it's also better maybe at some parts of like recording and stuff like that. but I would say it's neck and neck. I would say it's neck and neck between Logic Pro and FL Studio, with Logic Pro just so ever slightly getting one step above because you can mix in Logic Pro. Like somebody could send you a multi-track stem and you can mix that down and bust that down in Logic Pro, and you could do like production. So that I'm gonna put Logic Pro one step above FL Studio, but FL Studio is still a goat, but one step, just because like mixing FL is kind of weird because like when you get some tracks sent to you, I don't like I never I've tried to do it before, and it's just kind of like just the way the mixer layout is weird. One thing I don't like about Logic Pro though is because with Logic Pro you're forced to have it like laid out, you know, like how it is with the mixer and stuff like that. Versus where FL you can do like different stuff, you know, you can like minimize it and you can move stuff around, you can jump back between the edit and the, but with Logic Pro it like kind of forces you to have it like set in one way. And I don't think you can change the colors too much in Logic Pro either. So as an artist that's kind of important. But in terms of stock plugins, Logic Pro got incredible stock plugins. Don't play with me. In terms of like MIDI function, like Logic Pro is just par on par with FL Studio, damn near in my opinion. And yeah, I think that Logic Pro is really good. You know, I think it's really good. So after that, we're gonna have Ableton. Ableton, come on, man. Out of respect, Ableton got to go to the top. You see how many good DAWs there is nowadays? What's your favorite DAW? Ableton got to go to the top because I like how Ableton is laid out on the bottom. You feel me? Like with the bottom strips, it's like damn near everything a channel strip. And then like Ableton too, you know, you have plugins like OTT, you have plugins like Cytomic the Glue. You know, you got them real plugins that you know gonna help you sauce your stuff up. Ableton for me, in my opinion, is more like production. Like when you're working on electronic music, you want to make rap beats. I think that's where Ableton is. I think that Ableton's pretty dope for that. Um, but in terms of like vocal comping and vocal editing, maybe we might have to throw Ableton down one point because it depends on what you use it for. But in terms of like vocal comping, there's some stuff in Ableton that's just not as accessible or easy as Pro Tools, right? You know, Pro Tools is like designed to record. Ableton, I feel like it was a DAW that was just made for like live production, and people just fucked around and started using it, and it shit just started sounding really good. So for electronic music, rap music, I think it's dope. I think Ableton is cool in the way you can do like wacky effects and print down stuff, and also the way it's laid out. You can change the colors. It's aesthetically pleasing. I'm put Ableton right there at rough mix, and it's only falling short because of the vocal recording stuff. Like, who's not recording vocals nowadays? If you're even if you're a producer, if you want people to get on your beat, you probably got to record them too. And I think that Ableton lacks in that department in terms of vocal comp and editing. All right. So then after that, we're gonna have StudioOne. I think StudioOne is great because this is very underrated. The load up time is very quick in StudioOne. StudioOne also has the what is it, that thing where you could do like a screenshot of your analog hardware. I used to take advantage of that. I think StudioOne is really good too when it if you're using like PreSonus hardware. Like I had a fader port, you know, and that thing synced up with you know, that has the faders and the buttons, and it lets you like it's like pretty much like a PS5 controller for your DAW. I had that, and I plugged it in the StudioOne. It was working so quick, and I could move the faders and all that stuff like that. Only problem is I'm not living in the 1980s. I'm a 2025 engineer, so I don't really need to physically put my hands on knobs and faders and shit. Like that's not how I mix. That's not my genre. So but for people who that is their genre, that shit is A1. You know, linking up any type of StudioOne hardware, even the finger port, the fader port was what I call it, the finger port. The singlet, it works great for that too. It gives you a physical transport control. So yeah, StudioOne is pretty dope in terms of also like automation. It's really good on automation, really good in the way you can organize your plugins too. And they also have like a lot of great things for production. The stock plugins, I don't really like the stock plugins too much. I feel like they're a little too plain Jane vanilla, but yeah. Okay, now with Pro Tools, the moment of truth. We're gonna have to put Pro Tools at the bottom. If somebody was starting out today, I would tell you to avoid Pro Tools. Pro Tools is just the type of situation where they had a monopoly on the game because they got in early, and pretty much everybody's used to using it. So now, like, they're too lazy to learn. Like that's how I am. Like I mix, you know, all the time. I've been mixing for years, working in the studio. And it's like I'm driving this car, right? And your DAW that you pick is your engine. It's hard if you're already driving the car, which is like you already used to making music, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, let me turn on, let me change the engine while the car is moving. You feel me? I always make that example. So for me, it's hard to not use Pro Tools. But here's why I hate Pro Tools. First of all, Pro Tools don't give a damn about their customers, which is red flag number one. Second of all, Pro Tools is very buggy and very glitchy, depending on what type of operating system you use. Like I remember there was certain times where boom, my Pro Tools just stopped working, and I had to like reset my whole computer. So yeah, it's very weird. Okay, uh, you can run into compatibility issues sometimes with Pro Tools. Another thing I hate about Pro Tools, the AAX format of plugins and stuff like that. I'm not sure if other DAWs have that too, but I know like sometimes Pro Tools like it don't even recognize VST or VS3 plugins. It's like, oh, you gotta have the AAX, you gotta have our format, which is just annoying. Like, you know, so you can't use C-worded plugins on it like that. Another thing I hate about Pro Tools is the entry price. Like you got to pay like a few hundred just for like just a year. And if you want to get the perpetual license, which all of the other DAWs offer at a reasonable price, you got to pay like all this money, bruh. So that's what I don't like about Pro Tools. I think Pro Tools is great. If you know you're just gonna be an engineer like me, I know I'm gonna be an engineer and I know I'm gonna rap. So I'm mostly on the recording side. You feel me? Like I'm not making beats and stuff like that. So that's why Pro Tools works for me. Okay, but for you, you might be somebody who's making beats, recording, writing, doing all this stuff like that, recording MIDI. So Pro Tools might not be for you. I feel like Pro Tools is a specific tool for a specific type of person. Pro Tools is cool if you want to do Dolby Atmos, people using it for that. If you got like the 100 speakers all over the place, but yeah, fuck Pro Tools, Pro Fools. You feel me? I'm a Pro Fool. I'm a sucker, but I still love Pro Tools because that's what I was raised up on when I started out in the studio. So there's no point in me changing. Cubase, we're gonna put Cubase in the middle. I think Cubase is pretty cool, but I don't really feel like there's a lot of people like showing off the full potential of Cubase. Cubase is pretty good. It's pretty good. You could do like a lot of stuff with production and it's good enough to mix. And I've seen a lot of people play around with it, but I don't really have enough experience with it. I have experience with all these DAWs except for Cubase. For now, I won't disrespect it, but I'm not gonna put it at the top of the list. So what do you guys think about this list? What's your favorite DAW? And why is that your favorite DAW? I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of our YouTube family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below to support the channel. Check the links in the comments. Let us know what you think. Check out our website, Book a Mix, or check out the studio. Appreciate y'all now. Peace.